welcome to our city.
I know you got your own town. I know you got your own ways. I know there's no place like home, but I know you're gonna like it in my city. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody welcome to my city. We ain't got no worries here.
Game day, baby.
I know you're gonna like it in my city. We do it all night long.
Broncos, let's go.
Got everything you need.
Peyton Manning is one for the ages.
Music plays all night long.
Philip Rivers, he's done it again.
Come on and welcome to my city. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody welcome to my city. Come on, come on. You ain't never had a party till you come to a party in my city.
And tonight, it's the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. And our matchup in the AFC West for our Thursday night football finale, the San Diego Chargers and the Denver Broncos. And right now, San Diego fighting for its playoff life. They still have life at 6-7. Denver with the best record in the AFC, and they hope to keep it that way. And we couldn't ask for a better night in mid-December in this part of the country for Thursday night football. Welcome to Week 15, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Mike Mayock. Partner, what a way for us to go out. We've got the Broncos in pursuit of the #1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and we've got Peyton Manning in pursuit of, quite frankly, probably the best season any quarterback's ever had.
Point blank, I think it is the best season any NFL quarterback has ever had. If you want to look at the numbers, 45 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions. He's only take 15 sacks. They're the best third down team. They're the best red zone team, but it goes way beyond numbers with this guy. It's about leadership. It's about his control at the line of scrimmage, and mostly it's about his timing, anticipation, and accuracy. And Brad, at this point in his career, it's not about his arm strength.
If you took Peyton's numbers out and looked at Philip Rivers, you'd say, hey, he's the best guy in the AFC. And the Chargers are going to go as far as he takes them.
You know, in the last couple of years, all we've heard is what's wrong with Philip Rivers. But at age 31, there is nothing wrong with him. Mike McCoy comes to town with a very quarterback-friendly offense. The ball comes out quickly. He's completing 65% of his passes. And the key acquisition in the offseason was Danny Woodhead. 65 receptions. He's playing the role that Darren Sproles did several years ago. He's a security blanket, and he's a key to this offense.
Philip Rivers likes playing here, too. He's 5-2 in his career in Denver. But Peyton Manning does have one of his missing weapons tonight. More on that. We go down to Alex Flanagan.
Yeah, Brad and Mike, Peyton will be without wide receiver Wes Welker tonight. On Sunday, Wes suffered the second concussion in the last 4 games. I asked John Fox tonight what his status was going forward, and all he would say is that all we know is that he's inactive for tonight's game. Look for versatile wide receiver Eric Decker to take some time in the slot, but it'll mostly be filled by tight end Jacob Tammy. As you guys know, he has a great familiarity with quarterback Peyton Manning.
All right, Alex. John Fox back on the sidelines, 3rd season as a head coach of the Broncos in search of the AFC West title. They would win it if they win tonight, and Kansas City would lose coming up this weekend. Mike McCoy, so many years with John Fox as an assistant, now in his first year as a head coach of the Chargers. His team must win tonight, and basically he told us yesterday we pretty much have to win out. They lost the first go-around November 10th, but it was a close one. Week 15 underway in Denver. Trindon Holliday is going to try it from 6 yards deep. Holliday, if he gets to the corner, look out. Trindon Holloway out across the 30-yard line. Nice return of 39 yards. And out comes Peyton Manning. 13th year with over 4,000 yards through the air. And most incredibly, 4 or more touchdown passes in 7 of the games this year so far.
This is year number 16 for Manning, and this will be his 13th playoff year. It's just an amazing career.
So they've got good starting field position at the 33-yard line. No Sean Moreno behind Peyton on first down, Denver. Play action. Manning wants a big one down the middle and got it across midfield. Julius Thomas, the tight end.
Boy, has he become a big-time target. 50 receptions on the season, 11 touchdowns. This guy is 6'5", 250, and he's a man. He's really become one of the top tight ends in the NFL after a basketball career in college.
Peyton to the pistol, and they'll give it off to Knowshon Moreno. Knowshon got by the first man and got 5 yards. Down to the 40. So 2 plays into the game, and the Broncos inside the Charger 40. They know how to do it on the opening drive, and they know how to do it to start the third quarter. And you put those two together, you're going to win a lot of games.
Nobody better in the league at both those things, and they're very good at finishing the first half, getting the ball at the beginning of the third quarter, and putting the dagger right in your heart.
And that's an empty backfield for Peyton on second down at 4. Quick throw to the outside is good for a first down, and it's Demaryius Thomas as we take a look at our difference makers tonight for the Broncos. They've already made a difference.
Yeah, there's a bunch of difference makers, and Julius Thomas, 11 touchdowns. Big difference for Manning this year. And Demaryius Thomas kind of beat up San Diego in their Week 10 matchup. 7 catches for over 100 yards, and he has become one of the best wide receivers in the game.
They both have a catch already on this drive that's taken to a first down at the 31-yard line. And again, a 5-receiver set. Peyton's going to loft one long for Thomas and overshot him. Defensively, difference makers for the Chargers tonight.
If you're going to beat Peyton Manning, you've got to get some pressure up the middle. And Kendall Reyes, second-round pick from the University of Connecticut, is one of the quickest one-gap explosion defensive tackles in football. And Eric Weddle, he plays safety, he plays the dime linebacker, one of the smarter safeties in the league, and he does well against them.
Second down at 10. They'll keep it on the ground, and Knowshon Moreno. And he gets down to the 26-yard line, which is going to bring up the first third down of this opening drive for the Broncos, and they are the best in the business at third down conversions.
Yeah, we get 2 really good third down teams tonight, Brad. San Diego's tied for first, both at 48% in the league.
Monte Ball checks into the lineup for the first time as a receiver, as Peyton's going to be in an empty backfield again. Third down and 5.
Smoky left! Smoky left! Omaha!
Manning over the middle. Got it. Complete inside the 20. Julius Thomas again. And a pickup of 11 on 3rd and 5.
This time Thomas is in line right here with a linebacker on his face. Outside step. Beats the linebacker across his face. That's Reggie Walker. Manning knows it's a mismatch. And I think that's what the great quarterbacks recognize, Brad. Whether you're talking about Brady or Manning or Breeze, they identify and attack matchups.
And Peyton Manning's got the Broncos in the red zone already at the 15-yard line. Going to go to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Andre Caldwell. Touchdown pass number 46 on the year.
And, you know, you can't beat Peyton Manning this way. Look at the protection he has. When he can step up into a natural cup like this, identify his receiver, and deliver the football, he will win all night long. Bubba Caldwell with a nice route on the edge. Only his 6th catch of the season, but it's a big one.
Matt Prater, extra point is good. Didn't take the Broncos long, did it? Caldwell, 15-yard touchdown pass from Manning. 7-0 Denver. Thursday Night Football is delivered by Papa John's. New Chipotle chicken and bacon pizza, only $11. And by GMC. Vote for the Never Say Never moment of the week at NFL.com/GMC. Peyton Manning, 4 out of 5, 56 yards and a touchdown on that opening drive.
And once again, he identifies man-to-man coverage. Bubba Caldwell on Richard Marshall. It's a post corner route. And I would make the argument that the weak link for the Chargers are their corners.
7 touchdowns on the opening drive. And that's the best in the NFL as well. You'll hear a lot of that best tonight when you're talking about the Broncos offense. Ronnie Brown will take a knee. And Phillip Rivers comes out for the first time tonight. Says this is his favorite place to play on the road. I can see why. 5-2. And how about his completion percentage? Wow.
He looks like the Phillip Rivers that we used to all those years. I remember watching tape with him when he was a 19-year-old sophomore at North Carolina State, and how impressed I was of him back then as a coach's son and a student of the game. He was just awesome.
He took a beating the last couple of years. They're protecting him a little bit better. They've altered their offense under first-year coach Mike McCoy. The ball's coming out a little bit quicker, as you mentioned. We'll see how they do as they open from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it's getting loud.
Ryan Matthews on a cutback, and Matthews into the secondary. All the way out to the 39-yard line on his opening carry.
This is a big key to this game, is whether or not they can run the football effectively. Watch Ladarius Green, a little bit more of a receiving tight end, but he gets the edge, and there's the cut. If they can keep this guy in the run game effective, and if he doesn't put it on the ground, they got a shot to hang with Peyton in that offense of Denver.
His first touch good for 18 yards, and now Rivers moves him to his right. And we got a flag down.
12 men in formation. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Bill Vinovich, our referee for the first penalty of the ball game, goes against Denver.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good job. That's about as far as I go, Ness.
At Boston College education, that's it, huh?
I can do it in Latin, but I can't get past 12.
1st and 5 now for Rivers. And that draw play is going nowhere.
And guess who?
It's drawing Von Miller is what it drew.
It sure did. Oh, man, he just crosses the face. Watch what happens here. There's going to be a pull, and he's going to cross the face. Nobody touches Von Miller when DJ Fluker disappears. If there's one guy on this defense you better identify and block, it's 58.
3 tight ends in for the Chargers right now. 2nd down and 6. And now the backfield empties as Matthews comes out as a wide out to the bottom of your screen. Offside. Looked like a free play here, and the pass to Gates. Again, a penalty marker.
It was Miller.
So it's going to be back-to-back penalties on the Bronco defense.
Offside. Defense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Let's take a look at our difference makers for the Chargers offensively.
Yeah, Keenan Allen, what a rookie season. 61 receptions, by far the best of all the rookie wide receivers. And look at Danny Woodhead. To me, he looks like a cross between my 11-year-old paper boy and a surfer dude. Right?
He's been quite an addition, that's for sure.
I love watching him play football, though.
So 2nd down and a yard after walking off the penalty. And Rivers trying to be heard over this crowd in Denver. Matthews has got the first down right at midfield. As we take a look at our difference makers on the other side defensively tonight for the Broncos.
Yeah, I think it's all about getting Phillip Rivers off his spot and Von Miller back from suspension with 5 sacks, and Sean Phillips, who just continues to get it done in year 10. He's got 9 sacks, an interception, and 2 forced fumbles.
And Sean, of course, 9 years with the Chargers and ended up number 2 on their sack list, so it's a little different to see him in a Bronco uniform instead of wearing the bolts on the helmet. First down right at the 50. Ladarius Green, the tight end, in motion. Rivers fires, back shoulder thrown, a good one to Vincent Brown. And it's good at the 36-yard line.
Catch, 1 foot. Look at the toe. Now the question is, it looks like he got the toe down. The location is gorgeous. You can't throw that ball any better.
Rivers
Good
got
job.
the snap
Yep.
off. We're going to be concerned about that, I think, on the replay. Gave it to Matthews quickly, and he got a yard. So San Diego with a good opening drive. Back to that throw. And I'm with you. I think the toe was down before the rest of the foot hit the chalk.
And I think the timing, anticipation, and accuracy for Rivers that time was pretty cool too.
Sure was.
You're watching two great quarterbacks tonight. This is awesome.
2nd down and 9. The toss. Matthews trying to get to the edge and can't. Wesley Woodyard in there on the tackle. He's had some of his playing time taken away, but he made a nice stop on that one.
Wesley Woodyard is a guy who I think's best position is the weak outside linebacker. They kicked him inside to the middle linebacker. He's not really a big thumper. Paris Lennon has been getting more of his snaps, but in the pass game, he's one of the best pass defense linebackers in football.
Woodhead checks in as Rivers faces a 3rd and 7. As Mike said earlier, they're just as good as the Broncos on 3rd down conversions.
They've got an overload on Woodhead's side.
Rivers asking for it, finally gets it. Drops to throw over the middle, caught. Gates on the run down inside the 20.
They bring an overload blitz to Woodhead's side, trying to keep him in the block. So they're going to bring here and here. Woodhead has to step up, but then they get the crossing route because they pick up the blitz. We haven't mentioned Gates because we're excited about Woodhead. We're excited about Keenan Allen, but this is one of the best tight ends in the history of football, and let's not forget about him.
Second only to Tony Gonzalez in touchdown catches by tight ends. And they're inside the 20 with a 1st down. This is going to be no gain. Mike Adams from the secondary with a stop on Matthews. In fact, he lost a yard.
Michael Adams in his 10th year out of the University of Delaware. We had an opportunity to speak with him yesterday, and wasn't it fun to talk to a guy that from humble roots, Division I AA team, wasn't drafted, carved out a living in the NFL, did it starting with special teams, then he was a nickel, he started at safety. I identify with a kid like that. He's done it the hard way.
John Fox identifies with him too.
Yeah.
2nd down 11.
Woodhead again.
Rivers, trouble coming, and they get to him.
Yeah, you know who.
Sylvester Williams was in on it as well.
Yeah, what happened was Von Miller came off the edge working on DJ Fluker and really forced Rivers up. He's going to get an edge. Rivers is phenomenal at stepping up into the pocket, but as you said, Sylvester Williams is in there also. He's got to pull the ball down.
Rivers was in the official's face saying, hey, they held my receivers. That's why I hit the deck. And it's another 3rd down and long. 3rd and 11. 10th play of the Chargers opening drive, trying to match the 7 the Broncos put up on their opening march. Extra man coming. Rivers throwing deep. And that route was broken off, incomplete.
And that's on the rookie, Keenan Allen. He ended up with single coverage, and Rivers wanted to attack it, and he threw it right at the back pylon. That's what quarterbacks are taught to do.
And Nick Novak's going to come in for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, he gets what he wants here, and now he should take it. Because of the outside leverage, he brought it inside, but he didn't see the safety. Philip Rivers said, what are you doing, man?
Novak's 26 out of 29 this year. He's had 2 blocked. His only true miss was against Denver in San Diego. This one's going to be good. So both teams capitalize on their opening drives of the ball game. Philip Rivers trying to tell guys what could have been. Instead, they end up with 3. Coming up on Tuesday, Marty Schottenheimer's coaching career was marked by winning, but remembered for heartbreak. It's an all-new Football Live. Marty Schottenheimer, Tuesday, 9 Eastern, only on NFL Network. Always one of my favorite coaches.
I agree. Frank Reich working with his quarterbacks there.
Charlie Whitehurst, the backup. Rivers led him 60 yards in 11 plays. A little over 6.5 minutes, but had to settle for Novak's field goal. Peyton Manning just waiting for another chance. His opening drive was a touchdown march of 67 yards. Trendon Holiday back deep. He had a good return to open the ball game. He's very dangerous when he gets his hands on the ball. Sometimes he has a little trouble catching the ball. Caught that one cleanly. 5 yards deep. Again, knocked out around the 25-yard line. 5:09 remaining in the first quarter. Peyton Manning and the Broncos will have it on offense with a 7-3 lead when we come back. Broncos' second offensive possession with that touchdown pass on the opening drive. Peyton up to 46. His best was 49 in 2004. Tom Brady's got the single season record of 50. And Peyton off to a fast start tonight. We might have to update those numbers a few times before it's over. He threw 4 in the first matchup with the Chargers earlier this year. Great second effort by Knowshon Moreno to get about a yard or 2 out of that.
You know what I think is neat, Ness, is the common denominator between Tom Brady in 07 and Peyton Manning this year is Wes Welker.
Yep.
It was Welker's first year with Brady in 07. He had 112 receptions, and he's lighting it up again this year.
And of course, as Alex told you, Wes Welker out tonight with concussion syndromes. We got a timeout with a man down. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by Pizza Hut, stuffing 3 cheeses into our crust since, well, we just did it. It's new. Melvin Ingram went out. The injured player, second-year linebacker out of South Carolina.
And he's coming off an ACL that he tore in May, was just activated off the physically unable to perform on December 7th. So that's a huge loss if he can't come back.
Second down and 8 for the Broncos. Play action. Peyton Manning, deep sideline, wide open. And it's Demaryius Thomas again. Well, they got to know where number 88 is. He's a big enough target.
Yeah, now watch him get the corner turned around, and he beat up Sharice Wright the first time they played. Wright has no idea where Demaryius Thomas is going, and I think the biggest difference in Thomas's game, because he's a big height, weight, speed guy, Ness, he's learning how to run routes.
Helps when you got a Hall of Famer or a future Hall of Famer throwing it to you. Here's Knowshon Moreno, and a good run again, a pickup of about 4. Knowshon having a great year. Came in with 920 yards rushing. 10 touchdowns on the ground. The Broncos, a team that's got 4 guys that have had 10 touchdowns or more, and Eric Decker's not that far behind.
Yeah, he's got 8. And I think Moreno and Monte Ball, the other tailback, are really keys if they're going to make a Super Bowl run.
They'll try Knowshon again. He get whacked right at the line of scrimmage. Got a yard or 2 out of it, but he took a big shot.
I think it was Jarrett Johnson.
It was the outside linebacker. He's been around a while.
Jarrett, watch him make a hit right here at the end. 96. You're going to see him flash. Bang.
Ooh.
He was a defensive tackle, a 300-pound defensive tackle at Alabama. He's in his 11th year and has become one of the more consistent linebackers in football. Obviously made his name with the Ravens.
3rd down and 4. That's Decker in motion. Manning looked one way, comes back across the middle and broken up, but a flag flies in. Caldwell got his hands on it. Richard Marshall might have gotten his hands on Caldwell.
Yeah, he wanted Decker and pumped it because Wright had really good coverage. He's shaking his head.
To the pass. Holding. Defense number 31. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Now remember, Marshall's in the game because Derek Cox, who they're paying a whole lot of money to, he beat out Derek Cox. There's the obvious hold. And again, I would maintain their corners. Sharice Wright, Richard Marshall, and Derek Cox are the weak link.
Phillip Rivers wasn't buying it, but he's not wearing stripes.
He's like, wait a minute, they grabbed my guy in the last one and he didn't call it.
1st and 10 at the 40. Manning steps up, goes to the sideline. Decker just waiting on it and catches it at the 20-yard line. Pickup of 21. That one kind of floated out there and took a while to get to him.
Yeah, and there was a good pocket because it took so long to develop. He's going to get whacked here as he lets go of the football. He gets sandwiched, but look how wide open Decker is. Decker looks like the center fielder that he used to be. Just call him, okay, I got it, can of corn. So far.
Lucky he didn't call fair catching though. 1st down in the red zone again for the Broncos on their 2nd drive. They're at the 19. Here's a little toss to Monte Ball, and Ball loses his helmet and yardage. Reggie Walker, a loss of 6 and a penalty marker down.
Nice play by Reggie Walker, not getting out
There's
flanked.
no penalty for a face mask. The top of the helmet was grabbed.
Correct.
By rule, when the helmet comes on runner, he's
Play's
down by
dead.
contact. Second down.
As soon as the helmet comes off the runner, the play is ruled dead in the NFL.
I'm sure Monte Ball wishes it could have stopped it right in mid-stride. O'Shawn Moreno comes back in. Ball goes out. And the loss of 6 makes it second down at 16. Manning throws, and his tight end didn't turn around. Julius Thomas. And Manning aimed it at.
Yeah, and Peyton's going to have a conversation with him because that was set up as a double pick right there, and he was open.
Chargers have had some trouble preventing scores in the red zone. And it's taken back several years, actually. 8th play of the drive. Broncos scored the first time they got it in the red zone on a 15-yard touchdown pass by Peyton Manning. 3rd and 16.
Soft zone by San Diego.
Manning on a crossing route. Nice cutback by Thomas. He's not going to get the first down, but he did get it back inside the 15-yard line.
3-man pressure. They dropped 8. The whole game plan is to force you to throw it underneath, rally up and tackle, and that's what they did.
So Matt Prater comes out. And in warm-ups tonight, I think all of you know that he had a 64-yarder for an NFL record last week. Well, that was a warm-up kick from 73 plus. This one he should be able to close his eyes and hit. 32-yard attempt by Matt Prater, who's only missed 1 field goal all year. And it's up and perfect. So the first 2 times the Broncos have the ball, they score, but they had to settle for 3 this time. And they're out in front 10-3 on their home field. Back in Denver, what a difference a few days makes. It was frigid here over the weekend. We got a nice night for Thursday Night Football, our Thursday Night Football finale tonight. And the Broncos leading 10-3 with 1:22 remaining first quarter. That last drive by the Broncos, 9 plays, 60 yards in just under 4 minutes to get Matt Prater's 32-yard field goal. You look behind Ronnie Brown awaiting Prater's kickoff. This one, he had a notion that he'll take a knee instead. And with a touchback, they'll bring it out to the 20 for Phillip Rivers and the Charger offense. As you look at the 2 quarterbacks, look at the passer rating and the number of touchdown passes, and it's only the 2nd time that those 2 things have meshed. The other time, Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger back in 07. As we said, if it wasn't for Peyton's numbers, you'd look at Phillip Rivers and say, hey, he's the best in the AFC.
And because they're 6 and 7, I don't think there's been as much national awareness of what kind of season this guy's having. I've been really impressed with their offensive line play. They've had 16 different combinations of starters, and they've really held up this season.
Nick Hardwick, the guy getting ready to snap, that's been the anchor in there. Here's Ryan Matthews. Good run by Matthews. Got 6.
You know, I think the key to that whole offensive line thing is their new offensive line coach, Joe D'Alessandris. And when we talked to Mike McCoy last night, I said, why did you hire him? Did you know him? He said, I never met him, but I got so many recommendations from people I respect. We brought him in for an interview at the Senior Bowl, him and Wisenhunt, and Wiz told me after 10 minutes, that's enough. He's my guy.
2nd down and 3. Gates. The tight end will move over on the left wing. Rivers is looking his way, and now comes back across the middle. He'll run for it. He doesn't do this that often, but he did it effectively out to the 39-yard line. A scramble of 11 and a little feistiness. You always get that from Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Malik Jackson pushed him in the helmet at the end of that. And Phillip Rivers, as you were getting to, Brad, one of the most feisty, competitive players I've ever seen. So watch at the end of this. 97, Malik Jackson moves away and just pushes his helmet down right there. Now, you don't tug on Superman's cape.
You don't spit in the wind.
No.
First down at the 38-yard line. Blitz coming on Rivers. Fires on the sideline, and again his receiver Keenan Allen did not get turned around in time, and it's incomplete.
Hey, this is an awesome pickup by Danny Woodhead.
End of one. Broncos looking for their 12th win of the year. That last pass incomplete, but you were talking about Woodhead and what he did on it.
You want to talk about a tailback that understands protection. He checks inside and then comes all the way over and gets the nickel blitzer and knocks him on his butt. That is value that you rarely see, but that the Chargers have in Danny Woodhead. He's an awesome competitor.
5'8", 200 pounds, a gristle. Out of Chadron State, and his hometown in Nebraska is about 4 hours northeast of here. At the 38 to open the second quarter. Second down at 10 for San Diego. Gates again will come in motion and settle into a slot on the right side. Rivers throws short to Woodhead. And there's what he does so well. And he gives Phillip Rivers kind of that Darren Sproles that he used to have that he hasn't had in a while, Mike, and it's pretty effective.
65. That was his 66th reception on the season. He pass protects, as we just shown, and I think he's an underrated tailback. You can hand him the football out of I formation. I thought he was a steal in free agency.
Well, we've seen Phillip Rivers and Peyton Manning do their thing. Everything we expected here early in the second quarter. Ryan Matthews checks back in for the Chargers. LaRon McClain, the fullback, in there as well. They faked the stretch play. Rivers wanted to go long. Now he's got to adjust and just throw it in the dirt. Fans were looking for a grounding call and didn't get it. He is the leader now over Matt Forte, who will be playing this weekend with Jay Cutler throwing him the ball. Pierre Thomas and Darren Sproles, two of Drew Brees' favorite targets.
Sproles is 5'6", 190. Jamal Charles is 5'11", 199. Height, weight, speed. He fits right in there with that grouping. He doesn't get the national attention, but he's earned it.
Second down at 10. Matthews, nice run off the left side. Going to be close to a first down before they can bring him down. And I think they're going to give it to him. He's had struggles at times, but some of his best games have been against the Broncos.
Yeah, there have been durability issues. There have been fumbling issues. But there's no question about his talent. He's a big back with a great burst and acceleration, but he has to stay healthy, and he's got to protect the football.
He did get the first down at the 39. Rivers directing traffic, or trying to. They'll keep it with Matthews this time, no gain. Von Miller was the first guy on the bottom of the pile.
You know, Ladarius Green is a heck of a receiving tight end, but he's got to do a better job of getting across the face of Von Miller. That's not a real good effort. And you got to fight your tail off to get across his face, or that's going to happen.
Ronnie Brown checks in to the backfield for San Diego. On second down and 10. Rivers over the middle. That one's low, intended for Gates. Incomplete. Flag down. Chris Harris was covering, and a second flag flies in.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a hold on Harris.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 35, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So maybe the posturing by Rivers in the earlier drive in the first quarter paid off with a holding call for him here.
Yeah, they said 35, but it's 25.
Yeah.
There's the hold right there, no question about it. And, you know, Chris Harris is 5'10". Antonio Gates is 6'4". And look at him jawing.
Mike Adams told us yesterday Phillip Rivers talked more than any quarterback he's ever played against.
And he said he respects that. He knows what a competitor he is.
3 penalties, all on the Broncos defense. That gives San Diego a first down at the 34-yard line. 8th play of the Charger drive. Woodhead, maybe a yard, and that's about it.
Sylvester Williams there, the first-round pick out of North Carolina, is getting more and more playing time as the season develops. And Brad, I think a conversation here is this team good enough to win a Super Bowl? And the question has been largely on defense. And it looks to me like they're trying to get younger and more athletic. Sylvester Williams is getting snaps. Omar Bolden in the secondary.
And you can't give up almost 27 points a game and expect to win it all. But they keep outscoring everybody. That's why they're 11-2.
Yeah, it's been track meets all year long for them.
2nd and 9, play action. Rivers fires far side, diving catch. And Vincent Brown's got it right. Well, about that much short of the first down. The width of the football short of the first down.
Keep in mind, Malcolm Floyd and Denario Alexander, 2 of their best wide receivers, have been on injury reserve. Vincent Brown has been one of the guys to step it up. But if you look at their distribution in the pass game, it's Antonio Gates, it's Keenan Allen, and it's Danny Woodhead.
They bring the fullback back in on 3rd down and less than 1. So McClain set in front of Ryan Matthews. And now Denver's going to take a timeout. John Fox wants to talk things over with his defense. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers on the move, trailing by a touchdown, and a 3rd and 1 upcoming. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Mercedes-Benz and the all-new CLA starting at $29,900. Well, 3rd down coming up, less than a yard for San Diego. And on 3rd down and 1 and 4th down and 1 this year, Ryan Matthews, the Chargers tailback, is 8 out of 9 on converting.
I'm thinking it's short enough for Phillip Rivers just to pick a spot and go. It's inches.
Matthews. Whoa. 2nd effort. Got it. First down. Needed 1, got hit in the backfield, and ended up with 2.
Yeah, really nice job with the 2nd effort. I think it was Danny Trevathan who hits him first. Right there, 59, and then the roll and the forward progress. Nice job by Matthews.
11th play of the Charger drive now as they moved it to the Bronco 23.
And Brad, they've got to finish now with touchdowns, not field goals. This looks an awful lot like their first matchup where they couldn't get it in the end zone.
That was a big point of emphasis when we talked to Phillip Rivers and Mike McCoy. And he's saying, hustle, guys. 1 second on the play clock. They got it off. Might not have gotten the play they wanted. Ronnie Brown took it for 1. Harris Leonard made the stop, and the jawing continues between these two AFC West rivals.
Is that Fluker?
Fluker, the rookie out of Alabama. It's been quite an addition to their offensive line.
6'5", 339, has played both the right and the left sides. And what did Phillip or Mike McCoy say?
Rivers said, you know, he's not used to losing. He's got all these BCS things up in his locker.
Championship things in his locker.
Woodhead back in there now. On 2nd down and 9. He's going to get the handle. Dives forward, just edged inside the 20. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
You know, kind of conservative play calling here. They get the first down, 2 consecutive runs, and now they've got a 3rd and 6 or 7. And they've got to get this first down. They cannot trade off touchdowns for field goals because you can't beat Peyton Manning that way.
3rd down and 6. Rivers waiting for the official to get out of the way.
I expect to see Keenan Allen pretty soon.
They tried him a couple of times and he didn't run the right routes. Rivers, crossing pattern, on the run, and there he is. Keenan Allen with a hurdle job to the end zone.
That's awesome.
Touchdown San Diego from 19 yards out. And for the rookie, that's his 6th touchdown catch of the year. Mike called it right on the money.
And there was great protection, and there was confusion in the Denver secondary. You'll see the protection, and then as Keenan Allen from the left side of your screen, look at the corner stop. The corner stops, nobody picks him up. That's Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, points him out, so he's saying zone, 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 but nobody saw the crossing route. What a great finishing effort by Allen.
Nick Novak in for the point after. Tie game. 9:46 remaining in the first half. 80-yard march in 13 plays. Couldn't settle for field goals. They need touchdowns. They just got one. Sometimes you've got to use the airspace. What a score. A 19-yard touchdown.
That's
and in
cool.
Mile High, he went at least that high over everybody to the end zone.
The 8th wide receiver taken in the draft and outpacing every rookie wide receiver in the NFL by a large margin.
Peyton waiting now to get his hands on it again after an 80-yard scoring march by the Chargers to tie things up. Holiday from the goal line. Trindon Holiday trying to get outside. He won't get there.
Great tackle.
Great job on special teams.
You know, Denver's going to have to do a better job in their man coverage early on in the game. Watch Richard Marshall, top of the screen. Bites on the inside move, bends. He can't recover. No way. That's way too easy. Good route. But watch Demaryius Thomas. He's going to get in Sharice Wright's hip pocket twice. Turn him again, work up the field, turn him. Look at that separation. Brad Nessler, you could make that throw.
Maybe with 100 chances. 4 possessions tonight, couple of touchdowns, couple of field goals. The punters have had an easy time of it here in the first half.
Big man, Young. More goal. Hold it. Hey, Young.
Hit at the line of scrimmage is Knowshon Moreno by Cam Thomas, and no gain on that one. Cam Thomas celebrating his 27th birthday today. Just gave himself a gift.
There he is right here. He's going to beat up the center, Ramirez. Work off of him right there and make the hit. That's textbook right there.
2nd down and 11. And Peyton back in the shotgun from the 9 now.
Boom.
Looking right and batted in the air. A little bit intercepted. It was close. Weddle, I think, is the guy that got in there and made the play.
He did. Knowshon Moreno picked him up, but Weddle did a really nice job of identifying the ball being thrown and then jumping right there. Look at that height. Talk about mile high. Great effort by Weddle.
Weddle's had a couple of pick sixes off Peyton in his career, which is now at 7th year out of Utah, captain of the defense. He's a good one. 3rd down and 11. Manning going deep, right sideline, and almost intercepted out there by Sharice Wright, who made a nice play on the ball.
This time we talked about man coverage, and this is what it is. Press man. Bubba Caldwell's the receiver. He's in his hip pocket. He identifies the football, does everything but come up with it. Great coverage right there by Sharice Wright.
Broncos have less 3-and-outs than anybody else in the NFL, but they have their first one tonight, and they are going to force their punter to kick in his own end zone. Keenan Allen waits on Britton Colquitt's kick. High, but not that deep. Allen camps under it at the 40. And only got 5 yards on the return, but that's still excellent field position for Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, who scored a touchdown on their last drive. They'll work at the 45-yard line when we come back. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Wells Fargo, wishing you a magical holiday. And brought to you by Craftsman. Brad Nessler, Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan, and our NFL Network crew. The AFC playoff picture, as you look at it right now, the Broncos on top of the heap at 11-2. Ironically, the team with the lowest record on that side has already clinched the division. That's the Colts. But San Diego is in the hunt. They've got to win and probably get a lot of help. And in trying to stay in that wild card picture, San Diego, Denver obviously tonight, and then Oakland and Kansas City.
Look at that schedule Baltimore has remaining. They're 7-6 at Detroit, New England, and that at Cincinnati. If they get in, those three teams are 26-13. Two of the games are on the road. Now, if Baltimore gets in, they earned it.
The Chargers are going to have to earn everything, including tonight's here in Denver, where they're tied up with the Broncos. And on first down from the 45, throw a little too far in front of Eddie Royal. Incomplete. Eddie's been a guy that's been banged up this year, doesn't practice a lot during the week, and then just shows up on Sunday, or in this case, Thursday. Yeah, and he's a 6-year veteran, and that's what the coaches and players were talking about, is we trust him to be ready. And even though he can't go during the week, he shows up and plays as hard as he can every weekend. He was a Bronco as a rookie back in 2008. That's where he had his best year as far as catching touchdown passes until this season. And he's got 7 off of Phillip Rivers' arm this year. Here's a draw play. Matthews puts his head down and only got a yard. And with great field position, they find themselves now just sitting there with 1-yard gain and a 3rd down and 9 coming up. And we talk about Keenan Allen and the play he just made. The 8th wide receiver taken with the 76th pick. Look at his numbers, 62 receptions. DeAndre Hopkins was the 27th pick. He's the closest. He's by far in production outclassing the 3 first-round picks. He's closing in on John Jefferson's rookie record from 78 for yards gained as a rookie receiver. 3rd down and 9. Crowd getting into it. Rivers. They'll really get into it now. Whoops, he got away. Flags down. Rivers fires complete to the 35-yard line of Keenan Allen. I thought he was in the grass when they had him down, and maybe that's what they're going to say.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now the holding penalty will bring it back. They get Hardwick for a hold, the center, but they had a wide receiver jump, and they didn't even call that. So Rivers steps up. There's the hold right there. That's the bear hug. Rivers does a good job getting away, but that's certainly a bear hug and a good call. You're right. There should have been a false start on Vincent Brown down on the right side. As it is, it backs it up to 3rd down and 19. And if you thought it was loud in here a minute ago, wait for this one. Little screen pass or an underneath crossing route, something like that probably. Draw play, very conservative. And Brown only got across the 40. So they lost yardage on that possession. And we've got a little skirmish going on again. No flags yet. Just a lot of chatter. Now we finally have San Diego's punter having to do his duty tonight. Mike Cypher's in to punt. Trindon Holiday waits back inside the 15. Way up in the air on this punt. Holiday, fair catch. A little trouble fielding it, and it's way back around the 6-yard line. There's nobody near him. And that draws the crowd's response. Peyton Manning stopped for the first time. The last time he had it. He'll have it on offense again when we come back. When the playoffs are at stake and you're playing somebody you see twice a year and you don't necessarily like their company, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Tie game. 6:27 remaining in the first half. And the Broncos backed up on their own end again, starting at the 6-yard line. Started off with a great touchdown drive, then had to settle for a field goal, and the last time it was a 3-and-out. O'Shawn Moreno in his own end zone. Coming out of it with the carry. Trying to get to the corner, got it out around the 9. Richard Marshall there after a pickup of 3.
Now these two teams, Brad, have by far the least 3-and-outs in the NFL.
This time the Broncos go with a little tempo without a huddle. And Peyton in a pistol set here. Chargers bring up extra men. And they will come with 1 extra, and the throw's complete out to Thomas, but he's short of the first down. A dive from the safety spot made the stop, and it's going to be 3rd down again.
Peyton throws that ball so early. Thomas hadn't even turned around yet. This is a big 3rd down now.
Sure
from
is.
a field position perspective, if you can get them back-to-back 3-and-outs.
Chargers wasted their field position on the last one. They started at the 45 after the punt. This one a little more manageable on 3rd down, though. 3rd down and 2. Play action. Peyton in trouble. Not going to get away. Dropped at the 2-yard line by Marcus Gilchrist. And now they are going to have to kick, and they're in a bad spot.
And we talked about their interior players being their best football players. Legit right here. Nice job overwhelming the guard, and that just opens it up for Marcus Gilchrist, who's playing the nickel today because of the injury to Johnny Patrick.
Mike, that's the first time Peyton's been sacked in his last 126 dropbacks.
It probably goes back to their last game when San Diego got him twice.
It was. Colquitt now basically 1 step. He's got to field this snap cleanly first and then get it out of there. And he did. And it's going to be excellent field position again.
Yep.
This time at the 43.
That's huge.
So the Chargers in a tie game. They're going to start offensively in Broncos territory at the 43-yard line. Sunday on NFL Game Day morning. Playoff predictions. Who's in, who's out. Plus the guys reveal who they like to win it all. NFL Game Day morning Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. Well, 43-yard line, 4:31 remaining in the half. In a perfect world, Chargers like to use the clock and the field and score and not give it back to number 18, right?
Yeah, points on the board and no Peyton Manning for the rest of the half. That's your ideal Chargers scenario.
Matthews behind Rivers on a stretch play off the right side, and another good run close to 10 before they can bring down Ryan Matthews. And we check in with Alex.
The right side holding up pretty well with rookie DJ Fluker down there, Brad and Mike. The kid's getting broken in, if you would, a little bit to playing at altitude in between series. He's been on the sidelines sucking down the oxygen after the Chargers scoring drive to Keenan Allen. He came off the field and was having a really hard time breathing, so the trainer went over and kind of gave him a lesson or an exercise on taking deep breaths and filling your lungs with oxygen.
There isn't a lot of altitude in Tuscaloosa.
He just gave a lesson to the defensive end on that last play.
They're going to go left this time on 2nd down and 1. Matthews got the edge inside the 30 before they can run him out of bounds with a first down.
You know, Fluker's a guy, Ness, that I got an opportunity to see a lot of last year. And I saw him at his pro day at Alabama. I saw all his tape. And one of the things all the pro scouts kept talking about are the length of his arms. So here's a 6'5" guy. He's got almost 37-inch arms. One scout told me he had arms like vines. Okay. And in pass protection, if you've got average to above average feet and that kind of length, you're going to be really good. But what he does best is the run game.
Helped Matthews 2 plays ago. Matthews went the other way for part of his 58 yards so far in the night. And a first down at the 27. And now it's Woodhead. And he got a couple to the 25. Woodhead brought down by Woodyard.
How much fun was it talking to Woodhead and Weddle last night?
Those two get together every morning about 5 o'clock to work out before practice. And they say it's the best time of the morning for them. They get their workout into the ice tub, and everybody else shows up.
Yeah, they both play special teams. They're both really good at what they do, and I guess they've developed a bond very quickly with him now in San Diego.
Like Laurel and Hardy in the room with us last night.
Look at that number, -5 for Denver in the second quarter.
Second down and 8 at the 25. Play action. Rivers with time, fires, complete. And it's down to Eddie Royal. Makes a tough catch with a first down.
Yeah, that's really a great throw and catch. The timing and accuracy. Tight bunch set. Royals working on the rookie Kayvon Webster. The ball's out. Kayvon Webster does a pretty good job, but the ball, look where the ball is. It doesn't get any better than that.
The last time they got down here, they got it to Keenan Allen on that crossing route for a touchdown. They're back in the same spot at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Chargers hanging in with the best team in the AFC. 10-10 tie here in Denver. Mike McCoy on the left, spent 9 years with John Fox on the right as an assistant at both Carolina and Denver, and now coaching against him tonight. 10-10 game, 2 minutes remaining first half. Chargers first down, the Denver 13-yard line. Rivers and the Chargers trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. Draw play, Woodhead. Bounced off one guy, got to the 10, pick up a 3, and now does Denver use their timeouts here, Mike?
I think they should. I want Phillip Rivers to touch the football regardless of the outcome of this drive.
You mean Peyton Manning you want to touch the football?
What did I say?
You said Phillip Rivers.
I want
to touch it again right here.
I kind of like Peyton Manning to touch it.
Peyton is agreeing with you. He'd like to get his hands on it too.
I'm good for one of those two a game. I'm sorry.
At the 10. Down to a minute and a half. They haven't used the timeouts yet. 52. Rivers using up that play clock. Down to 3 at the snap. Fires to the end zone and almost picked off. Chris Harris had the best play on the ball. I'm not quite sure where that one was going.
Big target like Gates. Here he is right here, and he's competing with Chris Harris, who's one of the most feisty nickels in the league. Ball's just thrown high because I think Gates had inside position on that weak side rebound right there. And if he throws it into his chest, it's a touchdown.
He's only been targeted twice, Gates, and just one catch. And that last incompletion did save a timeout for Denver. 3rd down and 7.
There's a timeout.
San Diego's going to take it.
Yep.
With a minute 12 remaining. And a 3rd down, a big one for Phillip Rivers coming up. Broncos defensive backs having a chat during that quick timeout. They face Phillip Rivers and the Chargers on a 3rd down and 7. Chargers can get a 1st down at the 3. Eddie Royal in motion. Rivers going that way. Corner. Caught. Touchdown. Allen again. Wow.
Allen had man-to-man coverage with another rookie, Kayvon Webster. 2 third-round picks in last year's draft going at it.
2nd straight week, Keegan Allen with 2 touchdown catches from Phillip Rivers, and this gives the Chargers the lead.
He's the point man of a tight bunch. He's got man coverage, breaks it to the corner. You can't throw it any better. I love the concentration, the use of his body, and the strong hands.
Ran a wrong route in the first quarter, didn't turn around the second time they aimed one at him, and now he's got 2 touchdown catches here in the second quarter. And Nick Novak in for the point after. Up and good. Keenan Allen making his presence felt at Sports Authority Field in Mile High. And the Chargers have taken the lead on the Broncos. Back in Denver. That's something you can do with those new knees of yours.
Dude, I couldn't even do that in my dreams.
Santa's got it working, though. Chargers have got it working after having to go only 43 yards on their last drive, and that guy with his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. Don't forget, stay tuned to the end of the half. Lex's halftime show. Rich and the guys are standing by. Give you first half highlights and analysis. And Robert Griffin III being benched. They'll talk about that on the Lex's halftime show, which is 105 away. So the Bolts have the lead for the first time tonight. Peyton Manning will get another chance, but not a lot of time to work with. Holiday will bring it out from 5 yards deep. Weaving his way across the 20. Nice return. Out to the 23-yard line. The Broncos haven't been behind too often this year, but they have trailed a couple of times at the break. Kansas City and Tennessee came back to win them both, but still number 18's got 58 seconds to work with and 2 timeouts.
And he's only thrown the football, 13 times, I believe. And that's mostly because of the run game of San Diego. They've controlled the game.
Kept it out of his hands.
Go.
Peyton throws near side and bobbling Caldwell. It'll be second down and 10. See Peyton wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Finally found a pair he said that were molded perfectly. And went back and forth using and not using gloves in his career. Tough catch by O'Shawn Moreno. He's trying to get out of bounds and can't.
Yeah, that's a great tackle by Sharice Wright.
And the clock continues to run. Manning trying to get him lined up here on third down. Down to 30 seconds. 3rd and 6. This one off the fingertips of Julius Thomas. I'm not sure if he thought that wasn't intended for him or what, but he didn't make a great play on it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't know whether he was worried about getting hit. He's in the slot, working on Weddle. Ball's in the air. It looks like he short arms it.
Well, that didn't last long, did it?
No.
Still 23 seconds remaining, and they've got a punt.
What's that, 3 consecutive 3-and-outs?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that with the Peyton Manning team.
Not this year.
Give John Pagano and that defense credit after that first drive of settling everything down.
Colquitt. Keenan Allen camps into this one at the 25. He's been the difference maker tonight for the Chargers. Gets back to the 30-yard line. And we've got 10 seconds remaining in the half. With NFL Mobile from Verizon, get in-game highlights and up-to-the-minute news and scores as the playoff races heat up now. Premium subscribers can watch live games tonight, Sunday and Monday nights, as well as NFL Red Zone and NFL Network, all live on your phone. Download today. Call star NFL or go to NFL.com/mobile. Now, Phillip Rivers would have to come up with a big-time completion to give Nick Novak a crack at any more points here before halftime.
I'm good with just kneeling on it.
And that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
You have a 7-point lead on the road against a team that's 11-2 on the season. Not bad. Good first half by San Diego. 3rd straight game. The Broncos will head to the locker room on the short end, but they've come back the last 2 times to win those. Don't forget, Lex's halftime show is coming up with Rich and the guys when we return.
Trick Brown, Richmond, 96 double.
Hi, I'm John Elway, and welcome to our city.
But I know you're gonna like it in my city.
Tonight, it's the Mile High City, the San Diego Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Gonna go to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Andre Caldwell. Keenan Allen with a hurdle job to the end zone.
You're watching 2 great quarterbacks tonight.
Caught, touchdown. Wow. And the second half is start now. Phillip Rivers, a couple of touchdown passes, and his team's in front as we take a look at the Volkswagen first half game summary. Good job rushing the football. Ryan Matthews for most of that. And 9 out of 15, 118 yards and a touchdown for Peyton Manning. As we welcome you back, Brad Nessler and Mike Mayock. The best way to take Peyton Manning out of the ball game, don't let him be on the field.
And that rushing yardage translated to a time of possession. 19 minutes for San Diego, 11 for Peyton Manning. And I'm not sure, Ness, I've ever seen Peyton Manning go 3 and out 3 consecutive times.
3 times in a row, and he's not going to get his hands on the football to start the third quarter either, because San Diego won the toss at the beginning of the game and deferred, so they're going to be set to go on offense as we check in with Alex.
Hey guys, well, you haven't seen Peyton Manning do that this season. This is his first time this season. He's had 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. Mike McCoy telling me that he really liked what his defensive coordinator John Pagano was able to do, and that he also really liked the game that Ken Wisenhunt called in the first half. I'll let you get the kickoff now, Brad.
All right, it'll be Prater to kick. Ronnie Brown is back deep for the Chargers. And this one will have to come out to the 20. Keenan Allen, a couple of touchdowns again for the second week in a row.
Yeah, the first one I think was a miscommunications in the Denver defensive backfield. Cromartie let him go. Looks like man coverage, the entire half of the field wide open. And look at the effort by the rookie at the end of the run.
You got to be putting him in the category for Offensive Rookie of the Year, don't you?
I've got him right up top with a couple of running backs. Then he gets man coverage against another rookie, Kayvon Webster. This kid's getting better and better as the season progresses.
So the Chargers with a touchdown lead start at the 20-yard line. Matthews, 2-yard loss on the opening play. We go back to Alex.
Hey, Brad, just to finish up that thought, so Mike McCoy saying that the focus the second half for his team will be taking it one play at a time, not letting them get ahead of themselves, because, as you guys know, they can't afford to lose this game. Meanwhile, John Fox and the Denver Broncos, this is the only 3rd time this season that Denver's started on defense, as you guys pointed out, and Fox telling me that they have to play with more intensity in the second half.
We talked about their scoring prowess on their first possession of the third quarter. First, they got to get the football back. That's what they'll try to do here. Second down and 12. Play action for Rivers. Scans the field, comes near side, and a strike to Eddie Royal. That's been Eddie's pattern all night so far.
It really has, the comeback against Webster, but watch the protection. They're bringing some extra bodies over here. Watch how well it's picked up. They slide the protection to the right. Look at the movement skills by Rivers coming all the way back, and then the location of the football. That's what big-time NFL football is all about there. Picking up the blitz, redirecting to your second and third read, and delivering it accurately.
8 out of 13. A little over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns for Rivers tonight. Touchdowns number 27 and 28 of his brilliant season. First down from the 32. First down pass, deep sideline, and it hits the defensive back in the helmet. And that was Kayvon Webster. That's the way to use your head.
And I thought that ball might have been underthrown a little bit, because I think Eddie Royal won right there at the line of scrimmage. There's some separation. The ball's a little bit underthrown, and Webster just gets his head around.
Yeah, he did get his hand on it, not his head. Good play. A rookie out of South Florida.
And you know what? He stuck out like a sore thumb at the East-West game, and not a whole lot. There wasn't any buzz on him until the East-West game, and his height, weight, speed, boy, he really looked like a special project with some upside.
The tight end Ladarius Green was in motion, and now Philip Rivers just knocks it down with a flag down.
Delay a game. Offense, number 17.
I think Philip wanted it quicker in the center. Couldn't get it to him.
These two quarterbacks are so animated. They control the game at the line of scrimmage.
13:38 in the third quarter. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive events. Visit VWDealer.com. Mike, for the life of me, I don't know why the Chargers took a timeout after a false start or a delay of game penalty. This is where the delay of game came, and Philip Rivers just said, oh, darn it. But I don't know why they took a timeout there.
I don't know why you do either. That always comes back to haunt you in a tight game.
Quarterback comparison tonight. Peyton had a touchdown on his first drive and has been really on the sideline for the most part the rest of the game. Meanwhile, Rivers and company have a second down at 10 from their own 32-yard line.
They've been working on that rookie, Kayvon Webster, a little bit. Bottom of the screen.
They're looking that way again. They're going to float it out to Matthews. Oh, nice open field tackle by Webster.
I love the way he let Eddie Royal go. Recognize, look at eyes in. He's playing zone there. Sees it, reacts up, makes the play. Nice job.
Great job. Almost a form tackle right there to take Matthews off his feet at the 33-yard line. Works third down and long.
This is where Jack Del Rio likes to get a little bit exotic.
Rivers steps up in the pocket, fires on the sideline. What a catch by Vincent Brown. And a perfect throw from Rivers.
And again, look who they're working on this time. It's the rookie in the slot against Vincent Brown. They identify the mismatch, and even though there's pretty good coverage by Webster, the concentration, the catch, and the accuracy.
You can't put it in a better spot.
Yep.
The 35-yard line, first down.
Brad, they're picking on Kayvon Webster. They don't want any parts of Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and they're looking for that matchup almost every snap in the pass game.
And to make matters worse, Von Miller came off to the Denver sideline, shaken up after that last play. And that takes a big, big chunk out of the Denver pass rush.
Look at Rivers. It's so loud. He's individually giving everybody. Look at him.
Woodhead with it on the backfield. Will get the pitch with the blocker in front. And Woodhead sort of stumbles for about 4.
Now, Webster may be struggling in pass coverage, but he's doing a heck of a job in the run game here. Wow, he beat the block that time of Vincent Brown. Watch him down here. Recognizes run, beats the block of Vincent Brown. They got to play there. If Webster doesn't make that tackle, there's some room for Woodhead.
Opening drive of the third quarter for the Chargers with a touchdown lead. And here's Woodhead again, weaving his way down to the 23-yard line. That's a first down. Pickup of 8 on that carry.
Yeah, we talked about DJ Fluker, the first-round pick, the road grading right tackle. Watch him get up to the linebacker on the second level and open this thing up. Good job by the guard. Clary, there's the block. Buries him.
By the way, Miller's back in there after being out of play defensively for Denver. Matthews back in the backfield and going to have another stoppage in play here.
First charge, timeout. Denver.
So Denver uses one of their timeouts as well. They're trailing at home. San Diego up 17-10 here in the third. The fuel to stay warm here at Sports Authority Field a mile. That's not a slice of pizza. That's almost a whole pizza.
You know, my name's Dewey Oxenberger, and I've swallowed a lot of aggression and a lot of pizza, too.
From our favorite movie,
Stripes.
Long stretch play to Matthews, trying to get to the corner. Did. Follows his blockers down the sideline. Touchdown. Ryan Matthews. 23 yards on the edge.
You know, first you have to control the edge, and it's right here with John Phillips. Once you get Von Miller under control and can get outside, Nick Hardwick, 61, does an excellent job right there, 15 yards down the field. That's a center getting 15 yards down the field, and a really nice run by Ryan Matthews.
We mentioned Matthews, some of his best games. 2 of his 900-yard games have come against Denver. He just capped that drive off from 23 yards out. And the Chargers set to take a 24-10 lead. Novak in for the point after. It's up and good. What a way to start the third quarter for San Diego. 80 yards in 8 plays. Matthews with a capper. And San Diego has scored 21 unanswered points. Only 3 weeks left now to vote for your favorite players to Hawaii in the Pro Bowl for 2014. some of these guys on this field might be there. Remember, regardless of conference, vote for your favorite players and Pro Football Hall of Famers. This year's Pro Bowl captains, Jerry Rice and our own Deion Sanders, will draft their teams. Vote now for the NFL's All-Stars at NFL.com/Pro Bowl ballot. Kickoff from Novak. And goes out and gives Peyton Manning and company good field position. Wow.
That was ugly.
Three games they won this season after trailing by 14. Well, they're in the same spot again. And now you know number 18 is just going to take over because there's nothing to lose. There's 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Something's got to start happening.
And remember, those 3 consecutive 3-and-outs, 2 of those drives started inside their own 10-yard line, which again curtailed his play calling.
But now he's got great field position at the 40. Across the middle, Demaryius Thomas close to a first down, might have it right at midfield.
Yeah, he won immediately off the line of scrimmage against Richard Marshall in press coverage. Peyton's going to get this thing going, I think.
That's the first down for the Broncos since there was 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Wow. Of course, they weren't on the field for most of the second quarter. Right at midfield, Peyton under center. That's Decker in motion. Play fake and to throw to Moreno out of the backfield. Noshan got about 4. Manti Te'o made the stop, the rookie linebacker out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's a very similar play that Denver ran in their first game, and the tight end Julius Thomas went 74 yards because Te'o got fooled on play action. Te'o's playing better and better that time, stayed home and made the tackle.
And that one's batted down at the line. Marcus Gilchrist, I think, is the guy that got a hand on it. Just wanted to throw a quick pass out there in the flat to Tammy and couldn't get it there.
38 top of your screen. Gilchrist was a corner coming out of Clemson, has been converted to safety, but with Johnny Patrick, their starting nickel, out, they've kicked Gilchrist inside. He comes off the slot and makes a play.
Talked about how great the Broncos were on third down conversions coming in. Only 1 out of 5 tonight. And that one's incomplete as well, intended for Decker. And that was Sharice Wright covering him.
It was a tight window. And Sharice Wright did a really nice job breaking on it. And I think John Pagano right there. Right, they scored on their first drive of the game.
Right.
And then their second drive, the field goal, right?
Yep.
They've shut him out since then.
So Colquitt will have to punt. At least the field position has swung in Denver's favor a little bit here. They've been playing deep in their own end for the most part of the second quarter. Colquitt's punt, little bounce inside the 10 and down at the 1. Caldwell got down there. Great play on the special teams.
How about Bubba Caldwell? Once he comes out of the end zone and reestablishes both feet in, it's kind of like basketball. As long as you have both feet in, you can save the ball from going out of bounds.
Now they really did swing the field position. At the 1-yard line where San Diego starts. NFL Game Rewind includes coaches' film and full replays of every game. Get free access to NFL Game Rewind now. Sign up for a free trial at NFL.com/Game Rewind. You think the crowd has been into it at times tonight? I think they're going to make it rough on Phillip Rivers inside his own 1-yard line. Matthews got out to the 5, maybe the 6. Gives them a little more room to work. I mentioned 21 unanswered points by San Diego. Their last 4 possessions, a touchdown, then they lost yardage, and then 2 more scores. Ryan Matthews on a touchdown run, and 2 Keenan Allen touchdown catches.
Ken Wisenhunt doing a great job with his offense, and again, his point of emphasis tonight was finishing in the red zone.
Matthews again. This time about 1.5 yards. Terrence Knighton was the first guy to meet him. And it'll bring up third down.
Asked him at practice yesterday when he first got the nickname Pot Roast. Said Clint Ingram gave it to him his rookie year for obvious reasons.
Well, Pot Roast and the rest of those guys have to make a stop for John Elway's Broncos right here. Biggest third down for the defense if they're going to get it back in Peyton Manning's hands. 3rd and 4.
Woodhead's got a linebacker on him out wide.
Rivers from his own goal line. Deep sideline to Eddie Royal. This time he can't connect with number 11, and they will force a punt.
I like the fact that they took the shot there. But good, really good coverage by Chris Harris. Ball's thrown out ahead. No chance for an interception. No problem with that play.
Cypress now deep in his end zone to punt. Flag.
Oh, boy.
If this is on Denver, it's a first down.
Yep, and I think it is.
On a punt? Wow.
Cardinal sin right there.
Here's a call.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 56. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Oh, man. Finally had a chance to get off the field, and you do that.
This is unforgivable. 4th and less than 5. I don't care if you have the block on or not. Clearly in the neutral zone, that's a good call.
So the Chargers get the first down at the 12-yard line.
You know, it's one thing, Brad, if it's 4th and more than 5 trying to get a jump. But in that situation, situational football, you've got to be smarter than that.
So it's back in Phillip Rivers' hands. And Ryan Matthews doesn't get much. No gain on the play.
Well, Darius Green there had trouble with his block at the point. You know, I think Ryan Matthews in the run game has been the difference in the game.
For sure. Not just his touchdown run, but the fact that he's got positive yardage for the most part every time he's carried it, with the exception of that last one where he lost about a foot. Runs, 18 passes, and a 14-point lead.
They better hurry up.
Rivers asking for it. Matthews again. Nice cutback, spins his way across the 15. Trevathan made the stop, but a pickup of 4 more for Ryan Matthews.
That's Matthews' 19th carry of the game.
Coming off 29 carries, a career high in their win over the Giants last weekend. And he went over the 100-yard mark in that one. He's heading in that direction tonight. Well, Von Miller, it's your sign. It's 3rd and 6.
They've done a nice job this year into the boundary with Danny Woodhead and Keenan Allen. And that's the way they're set up right now.
Rivers wide open as Gates, and he's got a first down out to the 25. That combination's been doing that for a long time. Gates in his 11th year, and they get 9 yards on 3rd and 6.
I think this is another bust. You're going to have 2 coming off the edge and nobody covering Gates. He releases, nobody's on him. That has to be another bust in the Denver secondary.
Back to Woodhead. He's going to get dragged down back at the 20 by Robert Ayers. Nice play defensively.
Yeah, I think Gates was a little tired after that last reception because Robert Ayers beat him like a drum.
Both of Gates' catches have been 3rd down conversions tonight.
He looks a little tired, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Ayers a little thin here in Denver. 712 catches and 86 touchdowns.
Another timeout?
Going to have a challenge on the play.
San Diego goes challenging that Denver had 12 men on the field. We'll review the play.
Well, if they do, that would be the second time tonight they have had. We'll take a look at it, take a break, tell you about it when we come back. Mike McCoy with a challenge on that last snap that Denver had too many people on the field at the snap of the football, and he's right.
Got the 10 over the ball, 2 at the bottom of the screen. Philip Rivers is going to get this thing snapped, and that 12th defender has to be all the way off the field.
So we await official word, but we assume that it's going to be a walk-off against Denver. I want to thank you for making NFL Network your home on Thursday nights. NFL Network remains your destination for the postseason, plus 2014 Scouting Combine and the NFL Draft. NFL Network, together we make football.
12 players on defense at the snap. Therefore, it's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down, 5 yards to go at the 30-yard line. San Diego hash. San Diego will not guard the timeout.
Wow. Good coach job there by Mike McCoy and his group.
Look at this drive so far. You should have punted from your own end zone on 4th and 4, yet Denver jumps offside to give them a first down. Then it's 2nd and 15, and you have 12 men on the field, another automatic first down. I mean, this is a team that has Super Bowl aspirations.
Can't make those kind of mistakes.
You certainly can't make these kind of mistakes.
And you can't afford to give up 26.5 points a game, and they're probably going to give up that many tonight, if not a lot more. 1st and 5 for Rivers and a Chargers offense. They've got it now at the 30-yard line. That's Woodhead behind Rivers. He's going to get the carry. Got a couple. Robert Ayers again slides down here from his defensive end spot to make the hit.
You know, I think Jack Del Rio is deciding that they're not going to allow him to run the football like they did earlier in the game. They had 8 in the box, and Ayers has been really aggressive. They're slanting and bringing that 8th defender down almost every time.
Reinhardt stood up, and now he goes back down.
Oh boy, they've been beat up in this offensive line all year long.
He tried to get back to the huddle, stood up once, and then went back down to one knee.
Reinhardt, the left guard, 78. There he is.
Ooh.
And I hate saying that. That is the typical offensive lineman injury right there when you get rolled up from behind.
Johnny Troutman, the rookie out of Penn State, is probably going to come in and take that spot. And this has just been a Charger team that's owning this game because they have kept the football out of number 18's hands.
Run game, possession on the field. I mean, they've done a great job everywhere.
Yep.
All 3 phases.
I am surprised that Reinhardt walked off under his own power that well.
Last week against the Giants was the first time they had the 5 original offensive line starters back since the beginning of the season, and I thought their Giants game was their most complete game by far a week ago. Now he's got man matchups on the outside if he wants to throw the football.
Now he's going to move Vincent Brown from one side to the other. Ronnie Brown.
Great cut.
And a first down.
Really good cut in the hole. Paris Lennon came through untouched and missed him in the hole.
Let's go. Here we go.
Ronnie in his 9th year now out of Auburn. Still got a little spring in his step. And picks up a big first down. And now Rivers just taking his time. They want to use as much clock as they can and keep it again out of Peyton Manning's hands. 9th play of the drive. And as Mike said, this started at the 1. They were forced to punt. The Broncos were offside of the neutral zone, giving it back to Rivers, and now they're just kind of grinding yards out and using up precious time. Flag down at the start of this play. Von Miller brings down Ronnie Brown after a short gain. Might have 2 men in motion, maybe.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And now somebody down, I believe. Danny Trevathan.
Second-year linebacker out of Kentucky. And we've got a timeout with that injury with 4:09 remaining in the third quarter. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by American Hustle, in theaters December. A lot of good people in that movie. I got to see that one. 24-10. This is kind of a nightmare for Denver. And their home field where they haven't lost this year. They trail the Chargers by 2 touchdowns with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. First down and 15 after that penalty.
Remember, rookie Johnny Troutman is in at left guard.
Rivers just kind of lobs it over the Royal. He's got a blocker in front. He's got a first down and more. Eddie Royal with another short catch this time, and then the yard after catch got him 20 yards.
You know, King Dunlop's a guy I was not a big believer in when he was in Philadelphia. On tape this year, he looks like a different player. Get out there on the defensive back, gets a big hit on the safety, Michael Adams, and then Eddie Royal just gets behind him. King Dunlop, 6'9", 330 pounds, and he's playing at a better level, and I think it's because of the offensive line coach, Joe D'Alessandros.
Lazira Tutu in as an extra receiver for the Chargers here. Again, it's Woodhead on the ground, and he got about 3.
D'Alessandros is a guy, 37 years in coaching, Brad.
And still taking notes.
College coach, Canadian Football League, the World League, finally got to the NFL, did a nice job in Buffalo, and everybody I talked to about this guy just has nothing but the best things to say about him. Apparently he's tough on his linemen, but they love him.
They have done an excellent job tonight, especially with the ground game. And Brian Matthews and Danny Woodhead. Second down and 7. Rivers throws this one too far in front of Keenan Allen, incomplete. Badgers Cromartie was covering.
I was at Keenan Allen's pro day right before the draft last year, and he had a knee injury and had some lingering issues with the knee. The entire league showed up to watch him run right before the draft, and the knee wasn't quite right. The kid ran. I had him in about a 4.7, and everybody said, oh, it's going to kill him. He's going to get drafted in the 3rd or 4th. I'll finish it after this key 3rd down.
Third down and 7. Here comes a blitz. Rivers going to go down. Sean Phillips gets him back at the 49-yard line.
Fluker, the right tackle, is going to get beat to his inside. Here's Fluker. He's going to get beat inside. They're bringing pressure right up the middle also. Fluker gets that set. Phillips comes underneath, and because Rivers had to pull the ball down, there's the 10th sack of the year for Sean Phillips.
Cypress forced to punt down. Decker is in as a punt return man. I don't think they were crazy about Trenton Holliday's fair catches and decisions. Yeah. Decker used to do this back in his early stages of his career. And he'll take this one at the 11-yard line with 1:32 remaining. Remember, Denver with an 11-2 record. That's the best in the AFC. They don't look like an 11-2 team right now. And over there on the right-hand side, Chargers desperately trying to stay in the hunt, trying to get to 7-7.
Yeah, they finish up with Oakland at home and Kansas City at home. And remember, they scored 41 against Kansas City and beat them earlier this year.
Back in the hands of Manning from the 11-yard line. Peyton's going to flare it out here to Monte Ball. And Monte Ball out to the 15-yard line. Mike, that encroachment penalty down there on the punt that gave it back to the Chargers cost the Broncos 7 minutes in time of possession that they could have been trying to get back in this game.
And how many snaps does that give Peyton Manning?
Yeah. Season low was 27 points. They're stuck on 10 right now. And they're 2 touchdowns back.
Showing pressure up the middle.
Manning has time. Fires one in a tight window and got it complete to Caldwell. There wasn't a lot of room for error on that one.
Yeah, that's about as good a throw as you can make into a tight window. You'll see Caldwell on the right side of the screen. In between Gilchrist and the linebacker Butler. Look at that window. Boy. Fine line, isn't it?
Sure is. Peyton 12 of 20 on the night in a pistol set here. They're going to bring a blitz off the corner. No shot. There's a Monte Ball. Monte Ball on the carry.
That was Weddle coming off the corner. Talking about a guy that plays free safety in your base. He plays linebacker in your dime. He covers kicks and punts occasionally. Oh, it's fun to watch.
We played 3 quarters. The Broncos in a big hole that they're going to try to dig out of in quarter number 4 here on their home turf. Set to start the 4th quarter, and San Diego on the road with a 2-touchdown lead over the Broncos. I want to go back to what Alex talked about 2.5 hours ago. Wes Welker's not here.
Yep.
The Broncos look out of sync. Is it him that's missing the missing link?
He's a security blanket for Peyton Manning. He wins quickly, but I think it's a lot more than that. I think it's San Diego, controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides,
right,
running the football, and then making it difficult for Peyton Manning on defense.
And again, time of possession so lopsided. Manning to throw. Again, had to be right where it was, and he got it to Decker.
And perfect timing, Brad, because Decker right there is assuming the Wes Welker role in the slot, working on the safety, Gilchrist. Beautiful throw and catch.
First down at midfield. So maybe this is the spark that will light the high-powered Bronco offense.
Oh, I think there's a run in Peyton Manning.
Over the middle. Complete. Monte Ball, nice job after the catch. He picks up 15 and another Denver first down. And now while they have the Chargers reeling a little bit, I don't anticipate too many more huddles. First down at the 35.
Monte Ball in a tailback, the rookie, who he's got to help through some of these situations. See, Ball doesn't. See, he just stopped him and told him, get up there. That's who you're blocking.
Manning crossing route again. This is Demaryius Thomas who got it to the 30. And it'll bring up second down at 5.
Brad, I think the thing I'm most impressed with San Diego's defense is they're making Peyton work for everything. We haven't seen any big, deep vertical shots. There's been no busts in the secondary. They're tackling well.
Not a lot of chunk plays for the Broncos so far.
They're spending a lot of time in those A-gaps. They're threatening pressure. Sometimes the illusion of pressure is just as good as real pressure.
Trying a quick opening draw to Moreno, and that went nowhere. Corey Liuget on the tackle.
Liuget, the former first-round pick out of Illinois, did a heck of a job there. That ball come out? There's Moreno on his way down. The knee, yeah, controls it all the way.
So here's a huge third down at the 31-yard line. Peyton will hustle back into an empty backfield. 3 seconds on the play clock. Gotta hurry. Just got it away. And the throw is away, and it's behind, incomplete, intended for Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell did not see the ball until too late. Peyton threw it back shoulder, and Caldwell kept running. Really good coverage.
Broncos are perfect this year on fourth down conversions. They need another one.
Sharice Wright, remember, he got torched the first time these two teams played, and boy, has he competed tonight.
Broncos know they haven't had their hands on the ball very much. They're going to keep it or try to keep it in their hands here on 4th down and 6.
He's down.
Got Moreno back in the game, who's a better pass protector.
3 receivers to Peyton Manning's left. But he's coming back the other way and got it complete to Caldwell. 1st down.
Beautiful throw and catch. San Diego brought 5 people with a linebacker X stunt, and they threw the one-on-one. Linebackers coming around this way. Peyton hangs in the pocket, makes the throw. Caldwell on the catch. Well done.
And a 1st down back in the red zone now for the Broncos. Trips to the top of your screen again. He pumps it that way and throws back a screen. Knowshon Moreno inside the 10. Close to another 1st down. Broncos finally have their offense working.
Yeah, this looks like what we've been watching on tape all week, right?
Yep.
Fake it one way, come back to Moreno. Manny Ramirez, the center, does a heck of a job getting that. There's the pump. Look at 66 get out in front over here. Moreno uses the block.
A 2nd down and a yard. 7 yards away from the end zone. And to the 5 is Montee Ball. And that's going to be 1st and goal.
The Ball had 3 fumbles in his first 83 touches this year. And wasn't a guy that fumbled a lot at Wisconsin.
No, not at Wisconsin. Over 5,000 rushing yards for the Badgers. He stays in there right now at 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Denver trying to rally here, 14 down. 84 yards on this drive. Peyton in the pistol with Ball behind him. Throws it out. Caldwell with blockers in front. Touchdown. It ain't over yet. Touchdown number 47 on the year. And more importantly, Denver back in the game.
And that was all about 2 wide receivers being unselfish. The seal block here and Thomas up here. Wide receiver bubble screen. Look at that opening. All over.
Matt Prater in for the point after. 10:25 remaining in regulation. Never count out number 18. And number 12 has been his target for 2 touchdowns tonight. Broncos back in it, 24-17. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Macy's. And by Chase, so you can. 89-yard drive in 12 plays, engineered by Peyton Manning. His 2nd touchdown pass of the night has made it a 1-score game. Almost perfect on that drive. And some big ones, including a 4th down conversion. The crowd is back into it, needless to say. Raiders kick will be deep. Ronnie Brown will just watch it go out of the back of the end zone. The last drive, Peyton Manning. Mike,
talk about converting 3rd down. Beautiful throw right there. That got the drive started. Again, down the slot to Decker over Gilchrist. The check down to the tailback. 4th down play. Conversions. And then the touchdown. The wide receiver bubble screen. That looks like the offense we've been seeing all year long.
Now can the defense do their job? And that's stop Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. A bunch set of receivers on the right. Ladarius Green momentarily in motion and now stays put. And they'll keep it in the hands of Ryan Matthews, and he's dropped for a loss this time. Danny Trevathan.
I think the worst thing they can do now is get too conservative. Trevathan does a heck of a job. Put right in here. Sees it, gets in behind the tight end, it crosses. But if you get too conservative now, you play right into Denver's hands.
He lost about a foot on the play. Still second down and 10. And now the noise is having a little bit of an effect on the Chargers. Rivers under center. A stretch play. Matthews. We got a good game this time. Trevathan made another tackle.
A lot of the success in the run game's coming in against their nickel. When they go to the 3 wide receivers, Denver goes nickel, and they've been able to run it very efficiently.
Now Woodhead comes in. Matthews goes out. Third down and 5. This place is shaking. Rivers, plenty of time, deep in the middle, but overshot. Ladarius Green. There is a flag.
Yeah, they're going to get Ihenacho, I believe, holding Green. On the way across, I believe he held him. 33's Ihenacho. Right there. See the jersey?
Yep.
Pass interference. Defense. Spot foul.
So he got him for a hold and a pass interference at the end.
And that keeps the Charger drive going at the 43-yard line.
Key penalties extending, killing Denver.
It's the third time the Chargers pick up a first down by Denver penalty. .850 remaining. Those 6 penalties on the Broncos have all been killers, it seems.
They've got their nickel group in the game, and what they've been doing is running back to the 2 tight end side.
Whoops, a miscommunication there. Matthews got a big opening because of it, but he's got a first down.
Oh, my.
Rivers barely got that in his gut, and he went for 14 yards.
Rivers is going to reverse pivot out here, I believe. No, he doesn't. Miscommunication with he and the tailback. Brian Matthews picks up a big gain. That's amazing right there.
And that puts him over 100 yards for the 3rd time in his career against the Broncos, and the 2nd consecutive week over the century mark, including that big touchdown run of 23 yards earlier. And now the Chargers are back in Denver territory. First down at the 44. Matthews again. Again, a tough run inside the 40. Von Miller brings him down, but he got 6 more.
And Nick Hardwick, their center, 32 years old. Boy, does he do a nice job snapping, pulling, and getting out in front of Matthews.
After 29 carries last week, a career high for Ryan Matthews. Tonight he's got 23 more.
Face it, that's who they wanted him to be when they took him in the 1st round out of Fresno.
Yep. Woodhead back in there now on a 2nd down at 4. He'll get the carry here and got to the 35, close to a first down. It'll be about a yard shy. And the clock is the enemy of the Broncos right now as we approach 7 minutes. Again, they keep swapping Woodhead for Matthews. One goes out, the other comes in. It's Matthews back in there right now. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, he's almost automatic. 9 out of 10 on the year for Ryan Matthews. They do stop him this time. That's one the Broncos had to have. When they desperately needed it, they got the Chargers off the field.
The blocking tight end, John Phillips, right here in the end, got no movement. Michael Adams gets through. Paris Lennon gets through. Penetration by 3 orange jerseys. That's great defense.
So Cypher's forced to punt. Decker, and he dropped the ball, but he did get it away. And it's going to end up being a great punt, actually. Wow. How about that? The Broncos in a hole, but they do have the football back, trailing by 7 when we come back. 13's been a lucky number for the Chargers tonight. Keenan Allen, the rookie wide receiver, 2 scores for the 2nd straight week. Ryan Matthews over 100 yards, including a touchdown run that put the Chargers up by 14. But the Broncos and Peyton Manning to Caldwell are back in it. Now they're back to their own goal line again, though. 8 possessions tonight. 4 of them have started at their own 11-yard line or worse. This one's at the 3. And only 5:50 remaining. And each team has used a timeout this half, remember. Julius Thomas, the tight end, moves over to a slot on the left side where there are 3 receivers. Peyton Manning in his own end zone. Flares it out. Fingertip catch by Monte Ball. And he gets out of bounds after picking up a first down.
Linebacker bit on the play action fake. Good call by Denver.
Executive Vice President of Football Operations and Super Bowl winner John Elway looking on. Peyton Manning, his 2nd year here in Denver. Peyton over the middle, completes. Caldwell again, spins and tries to get away from Weddle and can't. And now a flag. Might have been a face mask in there.
I think it was. Or a horse collar.
Yep, there it is. It's a horse collar. You're right.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, now the Chargers defense. That's a big penalty. And a first down at the 33. First down at 10. Manning to throw. Waits and out. Hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. Got hit in the backfield as the ball came out, and Thomas Kaiser, I think, is the guy that's got it.
See here off the edge, the deep guy in the middle is coming out. There's the pressure. That's Legion, who's had a big game tonight. Fights through a double team. Kaiser with the interception. It's been all San Diego tonight.
The first turnover of the game and the first Peyton Manning interception in the last 121 attempts has given the San Diego Chargers the football back with a 7-point lead and only 5:07 to play. First down, Chargers at the 33-yard line. Matthews, nice cut, got into the 2nd level, and he's all the way down to the 25. Boy, he's run hard tonight.
He really has. Held on to the football. They're now in field goal range. Fluker was 30 yards down the field that time, blocking. Now they're going to bleed the clock.
Second down at short at the 24.
They're getting their 4-minute offense. They'll have 2 tight ends in the game protecting their edges so they don't get penetration here or here.
Got the fullback in there as well. Ron McClain. He'll lead the way. And looks like it's going to be another first down.
Brad, we talked about it early in the game that if Denver fans are expecting a Super Bowl, this defense has got to play A, at a higher level, and B, more consistently.
And we said that they can't keep outscoring their mistakes forever, the Broncos. And so far they've been able to do that when you're averaging 40 points a game almost. But here you are stuck on 17.
I mean, they're -2 turnover differential on the season. That turnover is going to drop them down another one.
It's hard to be on the short end of the turnover battle and win
games.
The big games.
I agree. When you play good teams, you can't be on the short end of that battle.
And Rivers is going to take a timeout here. Took the clock down, the play clock that is, to 1 second. The game clock down to 3:35. Broncos undefeated at home this year, but it's not looking good for them right now. Mike McCoy told us last night, basically, we've got to win out. Well, they had to take step one in Denver. If they get to 7-7, there's what they've got left. 2 home games, Oakland and Kansas City. They've gone 1-1 against those 2 teams this year, beating Kansas City, losing to the Raiders.
Yeah, and the 2 teams they're chasing, Miami and Baltimore, both have difficult games. Miami's got New England and Baltimore's at Detroit.
First things first, they lead by a touchdown with 3:35 remaining in regulation here. And this is what they've done so well tonight, is run the football. And now near the 20 is Ryan Matthews again.
Now remember, forget Kansas City. They're at 10-3. Here are the 2 teams they're really chasing, both at 7-6. Baltimore's at Detroit. Detroit needs the game also. Miami's got New England. Those are 2 huge games, and if things fall the way San Diego would hope, by the end of the weekend, they'd all be 7-7.
Denver has taken its second timeout. There's what it looked like coming in. Denver, as I mentioned, undefeated at home and with the best record. But right now, San Diego close to going to 500 at 7-7. And they've won 2 of their last 3 coming into this. And of those 7 losses they had this year, 6 games have been by 8 points or less. So San Diego's been right there. And right now they're in the driver's seat if they can keep running the football, because Denver's only got 1 timeout remaining. Matthews puts both hands and both arms around that ball and got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And that's their 42nd rush of the day. Most teams average 20-21 rushes in a full game.
Yep. And Denver just took its final timeout. So now the only other stoppage would be the 2-minute warning. But this 3rd and 7 is all important right now. Talked about Novak, if they get to the point of kicking a field goal.
Yep.
His only true miss this year came in the previous Denver game. The other 2 were blocked.
Right.
Outside of 40 is perfect. They maybe should take a couple-yard loss right here.
Right.
They're down at 7. It'll be about 3 yards shy of a first down. And now here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Let Nick Novak come in, try and make it a 10-point differential.
So again, to set it up, his 1 true miss this year came against Denver. 2 of his field goal attempts have been blocked. This is going to be from about 35 yards out. Peyton Manning knows whether this kick is true or not. He's going to get the football back.
Yeah, they're going to call a timeout here.
So timeout with 2:41 remaining. And now everybody is out of timeouts.
Now I'm impressed so far by what Mike McCoy and his staff have done. Tom Telesco, the new general manager. Look at his first 3 draft picks. DJ Fluker's been awesome. Manti Te'o was hurt early in the season, has come on to play his best football the last 3 weeks. And Keenan Allen, we've talked about him all night long. So I think the marriage between Mike McCoy and Tom Telesco and the foundation building of this team has gotten off to a really good start.
So with 2:41 remaining, Novak warming up, set to attempt a 35-yard field goal. Nick Novak from 35 to try to give San Diego a 10-point lead, and he does. Kick is good. 27-17 Chargers. Phillip Rivers still working the sideline over there. 2:36 remaining in the ball game. Peyton Manning will get it back in a second. Coming up tomorrow on NFL Total Access, Wes Welker on Broncos Cam and Brandon Marshall on Bears Cam, as two of the game's premier receivers will join us. NFL Total Access tomorrow at 8 Eastern, only on NFL Network.
It's pretty cool. I'm anxious to hear what Brandon Marshall has to say. You know, Chicago's got that thing rolling. They're going to change quarterbacks this weekend. Sounds like Cutler's going to regain that job after Josh McNown played so well.
Alshon Jeffrey's going crazy up there.
Those two big body receivers really playing well. As is he right there.
Great night for Ryan Matthews. 29 more carries tonight, so he matches his career high of what he had against the Giants last week. Phillip Rivers said, Sports Authority Field at Mile High is my favorite place to play. Not just because he's 5-2. He said the fans just get it. I really like their fans. They know when to get loud, and sometimes we try to run that muddle huddle because he says occasionally they lose track of when it's third down. It was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and it looked to me like he's having more fun than he's had in the last couple of years.
Yeah. It's fun when you're upright and you're winning football games. Holiday. Whoops. Had to catch that one twice, and he'll have to take a knee. Well, he was probably thinking, can I go 105, and didn't get the chance. Well, you've got the best quarterback of our generation, but 10 points down and only 2:36 remaining with no timeouts. Everything is going to have to be in a hurry. Peyton lobs it. Woo. That could have been an interception by Weddle, and that would have ended it right there. Thrown behind O'Shawn Moreno.
And you mentioned earlier, Weddle's got 2 pick sixes already off Manning. They need a big play, obviously. They've got to start pushing this football down the field.
Well, they haven't had a big play to Demaryius Thomas tonight, and he's been key. One of the top players, the top player with yards after catch in the NFL. This one's Moreno. We'll see what he can do with yards after catch. Gets it out to the 35-yard line. Pick up a 15.
Trying to get this thing going.
And we're down at 2:10. Might be the last snap they're going to get before the 2-minute warning. Pump fake across the middle again into traffic. Decker can't handle it. Incomplete. It takes it down to 2:02.
I just have been so impressed by John Pagano's game plan. They gave up 10 points in the first 2 possessions, settled down, combination of great field position, and they tackled everybody. No big plays. It's just been a solid defensive effort.
Peyton over the middle again, complete, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Pick up a 5 to Montee Ball. Time running out on the Broncos. Only the 10th interception of the season, thrown a little bit earlier. Could have been the death knell for Denver tonight. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by KFC. KFC plus football equals couch gating. And by Lexus. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here now through January 2nd. Don't forget, coming up, NFL Total Access postgame show presented by Toshiba Kira Book. And we'll talk about the Chargers playoff chances, Peyton Manning's reaction. Rich and the guys will have all that in a minute and 56 seconds, barring some sort of miracle here. Manning on a slant, got it to Caldwell, his favorite target tonight, out to midfield. Another 10-yard pickup, first down at the 50.
Caldwell's 6th catch of the evening with Welker out.
Peyton into his Peytonisms, trying to get something working here for this offense with a minute and a half to play. Quick throw, Got it to Tammy. Tammy's close to another first down, but the clock is running. They're out of timeouts. They're going to have to get a big chunk or go deep or something pretty soon.
It's tough. It's 3 deep and 5 under with a 3-man rush.
So they throw it across the middle again. Nice stiff arm by Monte Ball. Going to pick up a 13 more. And we're down to 105.
3 deep. 3-man rush.
Manning again has to come back across the middle to Moreno. He's dropped immediately by Jarrett Johnson. The time's running out on Denver.
Well, Tom Brady did it to Cleveland on Sunday.
Manning. That one's a dead duck to the outside, intended for Decker.
Yeah, he had Thomas Kaiser rolling around at his feet.
Kaiser, the guy that intercepted the ball earlier after Corey Liuget put the hit on Peyton while he was trying to throw.
Kaiser's got 4.5 sacks on the season and an interception. Reggie Walker, another guy that nobody knows about, has got 3 sacks. Pagano's really doing a nice job of using everybody on his roster.
Peyton pump fakes, comes to the near side. It's low. It's incomplete. Intended for Caldwell again.
I think that one's on Peyton. There's a big window there.
And they're going to bring out the field goal unit, try to make it 7, and then onside kick.
The ball get there? Yeah, that's catchable. That's my bad. So the hand's the wrong way. I'm sorry, Brad.
Matt Prater with the field goal upcoming.
Yep.
42-yard attempt. They're trying to make it 27-20. And he does, way up high and through. So it's a 1-touchdown game, and there's an onside kick coming up in about a minute here.
What it comes down to.
That drive by Peyton Manning and the Broncos, 11 plays, 56 yards in a little over 2 minutes. But they wanted a touchdown, had to settle for a field goal.
John Pagano happy to sacrifice yards for time.
Yep. We talked to John Pagano, the defensive coordinator. Said, what did you tell your guys defensively about all the, as I said, Peytonisms?
Yep.
And he said, I told them, don't worry about cracking the Da Vinci Code. That didn't work out so good for Tom Hanks either. They just played nice, solid defense tonight.
I thought that was a great line.
It was.
He's got those young inside linebackers, Butler and Teo. He's like, don't get caught up with all his machinations. Just play ball.
So Matt Prater, who made history last week with a 64-yard field goal to break the NFL record, is now going to stomp a spot out here and try to somehow save the day if his kickoff team can recover an onside kick. And of course, all the good hands guys are up for the Chargers.
And they're all reacting to movement.
Here comes Prater's onside kick. High in the air. Didn't travel 10 yards, and it's swatted out of bounds. Didn't go 10 yards. Chargers will take over with 29 seconds remaining.
Big grunt bird there, knocked it out of bounds. Your kicker's got to give you a chance to make a play. It's got to go 10.
But we know what the playoff picture is for the Chargers now. They're even at 500. And that'll put them right on the Dolphins and Ravens tail again.
Big fight for that 6th spot. You know, if you're New England at 10-3, you've got to be concerned about those Bengals. Because the 1st and 2nd seeds obviously get that 1st round bye.
Well, partner, our 3rd season together is coming to a close. Merry Christmas
to you, pal. Great
Same
job.
to Alex, and a Happy New Year to everybody, and a happy sideline for a guy that spent time here as an assistant coach and now comes back and gets a big win as a head coach. I want to thank Clint Deans, our spotter, Pat McGrath, our statistician, working in the booth all year long with us. It's been a good run, and his son Luke gets to make the trip back. He said, Dad, I want to go back when you play the Broncos so I can cheer on a Charger win.
Yep, that's
nice,
pretty cool.
Dad and son moment, huh? And there's 2 of the best that have ever played the position. Phillip Rivers Disappointing night for Peyton Manning and the Broncos. They fall to 11-3, but the Chargers stay in the hunt as they go to 7-7. Chargers 27, Denver 20. Don't forget, coming up, NFL Total Access postgame presented by Toshiba Kira Book. Chargers playoff chances just improve. Rich and the guys will have all that and more when we come back.